Hi everyone, I'm a day late, but work and all of that. Luckily, I have some time before I go see the movie tonight, so I got, and that no one here to bother me. Now, Moonstar had actually given me a request prior to this one, but this one came up, and I didn't have to do as much research, like actually look into the characters much, because I already knew enough about the characters. So I decided to actually go with the one that you literally just suggested, Moonstar, or the couple just recently suggested, apart from the one that you did previously. When I roll back around to you again, when I get through the whole circle of people and their suggestions, I'll get to the next one, assuming you haven't given me a different one. Even then, I might still do the other one. Regardless, you asked Wonder Woman versus Tsunade from Naruto. Now, I know enough about these characters to give a general consensus about this. And I've done Wonder Woman, I think, at least her once on the channel when I pit her against Thor. Have I done her more than once? I actually don't think I've done Wonder Woman more than once. That's a I've done Superman plenty of times. I've done Batman at least 2 or 3 times. But no, I haven't done Wonder Woman more than once. Wonder Woman is, depending on your incarnation of her, the general consensus is Wonder Woman is an Amazon demigod in some interpretations, but an Amazon. And she is the best fighter. She was the greatest warrior among their people. So she was the chosen to represent them in the world, and when she went to America, hence the red, white, and blue on her outfits, basically to represent the sovereign nation of where she was going. Now, in terms of character, Wonder Woman is usually very level-headed. It has had God knows how long years of fighting experience to her. She's well older than she actually looks. Obviously, she is a trained warrior, considered even by Batman to probably be the deadliest unarmed or deadliest hand-to-hand fighter or melee fighter in the DC universe, according to Batman. Compile that with strength of a deity. Strength that is on par, but not strong, because Superman's can increase. But she is in the tier of beings like Superman. When they had to move, who was it? Spectre. They had to use Spectre. It was her, Shazam, and Superman. They are both carrying a portion of him, who technically weighs infinitely. But that's comic inconsistency right there, because you theoretically couldn't lift infinite pages. You just couldn't. That just makes us. That's just writers giving you an extreme feat. However, we have seen her trade blows at individuals like Superman, like Darkseid, like Doomsday. She is definitely in the upper tier of the DC physical spectrum. Durability-wise, she's really only real weakness is piercing weapons, so blades, bullets, things along those lines, and poking part of the blade, not necessarily the slicing part, though that could still cut her up. She's not as bad. And she has no strict weakness durability-wise, but a strong enough foe like Superman, like a Doomsday, like a Darkseid. Or hell, even like anyone who could theoretically get a jump on her physically can definitely hurt her. She's not invulnerable. She's just extremely powerful. Speed wise, she doesn't have insane traveling speed, though she can't always fly in certain incarnations. But generally speaking, she can fly in most, so we'll give that to her. She is fast, but she's not travel speed. She is combat reflexive speed. She was blocking near light speed traveling particles from a god from across the universe, So her reflexes are enough that she beat Superman in a straight up fight. So just because Superman's combat reflexes aren't are still superhuman, obviously, but aren't to the level of a trained fighters. If you were to have someone exact same power as Superman, but be a better fighter like Wonder Woman is, they have better reflexes than he does because they're just trained as a fighter. I'm trying to think of it. Keen fighting instinct, obviously. Centuries worth, at least minimum centuries, maybe even a couple of millenniums worth of fighting experience on the battlefield. Then, of course, she has her equipment, including her tiara, which can be used kind of like as a boomerang. Her bracelets, which were made from Zeus's Celasis, whatever it's called, which are 9. There has yet to be anything that has destroyed those bracelets before, those gauntlets. So there's been yet to be anything, and apparently taking them off will unleash more of her power. So there is that. Trying to just go over all of it. She has carried a shield in the past. Shield's not indestructible, but highly durable. She's also carried a sword, which is apparently so sharp that it can literally cut through an atom. It can literally shave an atom. That's been stated a couple of times in a couple different comics. I'm wondering if I'm missing anything right off the top of my head, because I think I got the... Oh, and of course the lasso of truth. Can't forget that. Again, I don't know if that's indestructible or not. It's pretty durable. I've yet to see anything break the lasso of truth, but I could be wrong. But it's you're compelled to tell the truth and all that, but you can get out of the lasso and all that. So there's that. Tsunade was the 5th Hokage of the Naruto series. She was the granddaughter of the first Hokage. We don't know who her dad was, but she was the granddaughter of him. She is known as, she is one of the legendary 3 Sannin, one of the 3 ninja legend who went up against Hanzo the Black Salamander, and Hanzo the Black Salamander. Basically, they were among the strongest of their generation. Her specialty was twofold. One, it was medical ninjutsu. She was considered one of the top-notch medical minds and users of the Naruto world. She was capable of, instantly healing small wounds, no problem with I think it's called the Mystic Palm technique. Healing energy as best she could. She had her in her carpals, I think it was, struck at one point, and it was having difficulty breathing. So she took care of that without little difficulty. She can turn her chakra into electricity, basically strike someone in the neck, and basically cause their whole body to not function correctly. Basically, if you move when she used it on Kabuto, he tried to move his hand, and I don't know what part, but basically, if he tried to move his hand, his foot would move, and then basically like that. Now, granted, a smart enough opponent can work around that. He figured out how to move without that, but in that sort of limited time to that jutsu. Again, plenty of healing techniques to her. Most of it's just that she's just got perfect chakra control, which leads into and we'll get to the other healing stuff in a little bit, leads into her second most notable trait, her physical strength. Even without her chakra, her physical strength is pretty solid. With her chakra, she could pretty much shatter boulders with her finger. She could literally just smash the ground and basically cause a giant crater in the ground. She could lift Gamabunta's knife, which here's her, and here's Gamabunta's knife. She could lift that and go shink like that. Without too much, the only difficulty with that for her was just the cumbersome size of it. She had to just hold it like that. But she could still lift that. Now, I don't know. I can't remember if we ever truly saw the true upper limits of her strength. Like if Madara sent one of those giant meteors coming down to on the planet world, could she theoretically have gone up, grabbed it, and then boom, like that? Could she have stopped that? I don't know if she... that is like a limitation. I don't know if she was that strong. But she was extremely powerful. She could throw a punch and just pretty much vaporize someone if she really wanted to. She could send even in the filler, you saw her at one point flick 2 guys in the head, who were easily like twice her size, probably twice. They easily probably had like 500 or 600 pounds. She just went boom, and they went flying. She caused a crater in the ground, cracks the ground with just her finger. So she is god unknownly powerful. But also she's a trained ninja, which means she is capable of using the substitution jutsu, just being stealthy. She spent years on the battlefield, so she is pretty well versed in combat. She's capable of using kunai. She has a summoning jutsu, capable of summoning Katsuyu, was that her name? Which was a giant slug, capable of dividing, healing, and spitting acid. And then we had her real true healing technique, which is basically, I can't remember. Genesis Rebirth? Was it something along those? I think it was like Genesis Rebirth, something like that. Basically, she has a seal marker. It's a diamond in her forehead. She released that. She basically gains all these markings on her, like sealing markings. And pretty much she has pretty much Wolverine level healing factor. That was like, shink, nope, shink, nope, shink, nope. But there's a limitation to that, and the longer it works, the longer she has, the more she uses it, the more she shortens her lifespan. That being said, Tsunade's a tough son of a bitch. She got cut in half at one point, torn in half, and she was still alive. So, so she's a highly durable individual. But she's also a woman in her 50s, and unlike Wonder Woman, who is technically a not immortal being, she's not theoretically human. She is technically, the Amazons are a different race than humanity. And that's not taking into fact demigods' origin and all that. Technically, the Amazons are a different race. She's still human. She's still a 50-year-old woman. And furthermore, her 50-year-old form looks a lot more than looks a lot older than a 50-year-old woman would. Granted, you're talking about a world where, of course, Jiraiya was in his early 50s, and he always had white hair, so if you gave him, like, black hair, he wouldn't look more than maybe in his 40s. So, frankly, Tsunade, and it probably has to do with the fact she's had, because Shizune knew the risk of that jutsu, where it would shorten her lifespan, which means she's used it more than once, which it probably says to me that the stress that a lot of her techniques have probably put on her body have made her actual true form age a lot quicker than, say, the normal person. Also, she's clearly skilled in at least a little genjutsu, as she uses a jutsu to alter her appearance. Anyway, so how does this fight break down? I always go with the most realistic scenario in my mind. Seeing as multiverse is very common in Justice League, or in the DC and in the Marvel Universe, let's say the Naruto-verse is just a different multiverse, and somehow or another Wonder Woman ends up there. Now, she ends up there, let's say, during one of the Great Shinobi Wars. And we're going to talk about Tsunade. We'll use Tsunade in her prime, she's going to have her abilities. And her and clearly there's a mishap in her and Tsunade. By the way, we're not using the Fear of Blood because she got over that. Tsunade's Fear of Blood not playing a factor. She got over that. So, no, it's like, you forgot her Fear of Blood. No, she got over that. That was clearly a big thing in that arc when they first met her, that she has a Fear of Blood. Oh, she stopped the shaking. She got over it. So, yeah, we're not doing that. So, yeah, in a straight fight, Shizune's lived on the battlefield, but Wonder Woman has been born into combat, trained since near birth. And we're not talking about the movie version, obviously. We're talking about the overall version of Wonder Woman. It's in birth. She is a trained warrior to the umpteenth degree, and much older than Tsunade. So she's going to have a strict edge in hand-to-hand combat. Now, granted, Tsunade is going to will have things like smoke bombs and all that on her because she's a ninja. So she'll have that. So after a quick skirmish, and granted, I do say that Wonder Woman is the physically stronger of the two. That's just I think we can both all agree on that. Wonder Woman is just physically stronger, but Tsunade is still immensely powerful. But Tsunade couldn't move a planet. Tsunade couldn't trade blows with Doomsday or Superman really at all. Because those are individuals who are theoretically world-breaking individuals in terms of strength. Wonder Woman is kind of in that tier. We've never truly seen the upper limits of her strength either, but we know she can trade blows with the best in that universe. Tsunade can't do that. We have never seen Tsunade do anything quite that level of power. Tsunade couldn't risk breaking the planet with her punches. That said, she can definitely throw a punch, and I think that level of power would take Wonder Woman by surprise. She wouldn't think that this woman had that much power in it, and even a glancing blow, let's say that, and Tsunade gets a glancing blow, just boom, and she goes, whoa, she starts flying, but she quickly catches herself. She comes in with a sword. Tsunade tries to come in with a kunai. They clash briefly, but immediately the kunai cuts in half, just shink, and she barely, she gets a good gash here, goes back with a smoke bomb, just boom, she starts healing herself in the shadows, or in the smoke. So she comes in. Wonder Woman, though, is a trained warrior. She takes a moment, recognizes where she is, comes in, stabs her straight there, but then it's just a log, and then Tsunade comes in, just zaps her. Now Wonder Woman's about to react, but now she's feeling her body step moving correctly, and this is where Tsunade just starts to wail in on her, just boom, 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 boom. So now just boom, boom. Now, and Wonder Woman's just like, and she's now starting to reel a little bit, just because again, those punches don't tickle. In terms of superhuman strength, it's tough to say where Tsunade really falls in line. Like, if you were to like go with the scaling, the 1-ton tier, or like the 10-ton, 100-ton tier, it's hard to say. It's pretty safe to say that knife Bunta had, like his short sword, that had to have weighed a couple thousand pounds easy. If we highball it, we could say 10,000. If we highball it, let's say 10,000. So if we highball that, Tsunade was still able to pick that up with relative ease. So I would argue that you could put her probably somewhere in the 50-ton tier. I think that's a fair argument for Tsunade. Still, comparatively, that's nothing compared to Wonder Woman. But that's punches from a 50-ton tier individual, and you can't readily block those. Even for someone with the durability of Wonder Woman, that's gonna hurt. Just boom, 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 boom. Wonder Woman's eventually starting to suddenly throws a punch, remembering how a couple of her body parts acted, just brings the shield up, just ding. Tsunade suddenly brings in the kunai now, just ding, 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 ding. No, delivers a kunai straight into Wonder Woman, just Luckily, Wonder Woman at this point's kind of figured it out, so she just backhands her, comes in again with the sword, goes summoning jutsu. Boom! Suddenly Katsuya comes, she's slicing into a giant slug, which hurts Katsuya just a little bit, but remember, this is a giant slug, like a couple story tall slug. And then she starts dividing into slugs, and then starts throwing acid bombs at Wonder Woman, who's at this point the jutsu's worn off, but she's still got a wound now. So now she's throwing acid bombs, just getting out of the way. I imagine she'd maybe block it with a shield. Shield's starting to, and eventually, and the shield is kind of magical, I think, but not exactly. And enough hits the shield's actually starting to dissolve. So she tosses the shield. Now she's getting boiling there. A couple of singes here and there, but nothing due to splashes. A couple of singes here. Meanwhile, Tsunade's preparing her real jutsu, the rebirth, Genesis Rebirth. So now she's got her healing factor. If she comes in again, and I'm just imagining right now Goku charging Jiren in the final bit of Dragon Ball Super, but no, she comes in, just boom, she comes in. Tsunade gets her arm cut off, and all of a sudden she grabs it, boom, reattached her real quick, just heals there, and just shing comes in again with the kunai. Now they're going back and forth. Meanwhile, Katsuya's firing acid all over the place. Just even Tsunade's getting hit by it, but her healing factor is now, is able to keep it up. So now they're going back and forth. Now Wonder Woman's, her sword's even starting to sizzle a little bit, but still she's good. So she just at this point just says nope, screw it, and just brings a lasso, grabs Tsunade, but Tsunade's strong enough to basically probably get out of the lasso just enough, and she grabs the lasso, pulls Wonder Woman there. Wonder Woman at the last minute, as she brings a kunai, Ray just releases the bracelets and boom! Power explosion of Wonder Woman's power. Just boom! Just smacks down on Tsunade. Just boom! And even Tsunade, she coughs up blood. Heals for it, but then Wonder Woman just comes in, brings the sword down, and crams into Tsunade's head. Tsunade's just substitution juices. She's starting to run out of time too, so now they both collide. Powers clashing a little bit, but Tsunade's on the losing end. Her healing factor's keeping her up. But Wonder Woman all Katsuya calls just comes into blasts it with acid, and then just Wonder Woman just comes in, just one final charge, brings her sword up, and just slices Tsunade right down the middle, just really fast and quick. Just boom, just pulls the ass away from her before she can heal. And her brains, she cut straight down, so brainstem, everything like that. So even with the jutsu activated, I don't think Tsunade could come back from that. So just and then Katsuya disappears. Poof. Now, why did I give Wonder Woman the win in this? Well, Wonder Woman has a lot of physical. Wonder Woman has the physical advantages over Tsunade. Tsunade has the healing abilities over him, but I do give it to Wonder Woman in terms of physical advantage. She has the better fighting experience, and she has the better weaponry. Tsunade has enough tricks up her sleeve that she could definitely keep Wonder Woman at a distance for a little bit, and even trade blows with her for a good while. add Katsuyu being able to attack on multi fronts thanks to multiple clones. Um, and you can give I definitely give Tsunade credits. The problem is that no matter what version of Wonder Woman you look at, she is always a god, almost god tier. In fact, she is technically a god tier level individual because she's killed god. She's killed like Ares before. She's killed gods before. She's killed demons. So she is. Just frankly on a different level than Tsunade is. Now, I've had individuals from Naruto on the episode before going up against individuals who, frankly speaking, on a power level wise or power level basis, they don't really have any means of beating, and I've given them the win before due to trickery and things along those lines. Problem in this case is Tsunade, except for maybe Katsuyu's acid and maybe plays kunai, doesn't have a technique to the best of my knowledge, unless you're talking about maybe a chakra scalpel. And even then, you're talking about a chakra scalpel against which is basically something that's designed to cut things, obviously. Which is designed, you're talking about someone who's far more durable in that case. Now, granted, I honestly forgot about the chakra scalpel until now, and I would say that does give her a bit more of an edge in terms, not edge, but it does increase her chances in a hand-to-hand format, but you're not talking about hand-to-hand and against a woman or individual who has again spent her entire life on the battlefield. So she at once feels maybe she gets hit by the chakra scalpel. That's not right. She's going to avoid that and just going to have the better reflexes to do so. She's going to have the better durability. She's going to have the better physical strength. She's going to have the better tools and equipment and weaponry on call. So I gotta go Wonder Woman in this. Now, is there a scenario where, and again, Tsunade just doesn't have enough for a killing blow, really. For a lot of different versions of the killing blow. She's got strength, but Wonder Woman's fought individuals far stronger than Tsunade without much of a problem. So I would definitely say, yeah, it's Wonder Woman. I'll go 85% of the time because Tsunade's got enough ninjutsu on her side, like enough skill in terms of avoidance and stealth, and Katsuyu, that I think she could get, like, if she got a lucky strike in on like Wonder Woman with like a just giant of acid, that could definitely screw her up. No doubt about that. Again, piercing weapons, she gets a well-placed, super-powered shot with a kunai in her hand. She could easily just or right in the chest, but I just don't see that being the majority scenario. I think it's Wonder Woman is the majority time in this fight. But let me know if you think different. If you do, that's cool. Put it in the comments down below. Absolutely, I'm not going to I rarely disagree with anyone on this, so on anyone on my hoodwins, because it's all opinion based. It is completely my opinion based on the facts that I know. So I have no interest whatsoever on arguing about what a debate. Sure, a friendly debate, absolutely, that's cool. But a debate in terms of or a argument, it's like, you're wrong, and here's why you're wrong, man. You're wrong. It's like, dude, you're such a noob. It's like, those kind of debates I'm not going to get involved with. You want to have a cool debate about it? Absolutely. Otherwise, pass. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. I just would win Star Wars, Superhero Magic, what if, anything you want to do on the channel. Put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to it at some point. Tonight will be... Oh, excuse me. Tonight will be Life of the Party. And then Friday, I pick up my tickets for Deadpool 2. Looking forward to that, obviously. I was debating doing a magic video at some point, but I don't know. If I get around to it, I'll do it. So I'll do one maybe. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Later.